Hi everyone, and a very warm welcome to all of you to this episode of All Things Lean with your host Madhulika Rajahan. In our last episode, we talked about what is design thinking and why is it so popular. In this episode, we will talk about design thinking a little further. As we talked about in our last episode, design thinking is not an exclusive property of designers. All great innovators in literature, art, music, science, engineering, and business have practiced it. So, why call it design thinking? What's special about design thinking is that designers' work processes can help us systematically extract, teach, learn, and apply these human centered techniques to solve problems in a creative and innovative way in our designs, in our businesses, in our countries, and in our lives. Some of the world's leading brands, such as Apple, Google, and Samsung, rapidly adopted the design thinking approach, and leading universities around the world teach the related methodology, including Stanford, Harvard, Imperial College of London, and the Srishti Institute in India. Before you incorporate design thinking into your own workflows, you need to know what it is and why it's so popular. Here we cut the chase and tell you what design thinking is all about and why it's so in demand. Design thinking has a scientific side. Design thinking is both an art and a science. It combines investigations into ambiguous elements of the problem with rational and analytical research. The scientific side, in other words. This magical concoction reveals previously unknown parameters and helps to uncover alternative strategies which lead to truly innovative solutions. The scientific activities analyze how users interact with products and investigate the conditions in which they operate. They include tasks which are research users' needs, pool experience from previous projects, consider present and future conditions specific to the product, test the parameters of the problem, test the practical application of alternative problem solutions. Once you arrive at a number of potential solutions, the selection process is then underpinned by rationality. As a designer, you are encouraged to analyze and falsify these solutions to arrive at the best available option for each problem or obstacle identified during phases of the design process. With this in mind, it may be more correct to say design thinking is not about thinking outside the box, but it on its edge, its corner, its flap, and under its barcode, as Clint Grunge, the founder and managing director of Archival, a distinguished youth marketing agency and adjunct professor at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, puts it. Resetting our mental boxes and developing a fresh mindset. Thinking outside of the box can provide an innovative solution to a sticky problem. However, thinking outside of the box can be a real challenge as we naturally develop patterns of thinking that are modeled on the repetitive activities and commonly accessed knowledge we surround ourselves with. Some years ago, an incident occurred where a truck driver tried to pass under a low bridge, but he failed and the truck was lodged firmly under the bridge. The driver was unable to continue driving through or reverse out. The story goes that as the truck became stuck, it caused massive traffic problems, which resulted in emergency personnel, engineers, firefighters, and truck drivers gathering to devise and negotiate various solutions for dislodging the trapped vehicle. Emergency workers were debating whether to dismantle parts of the truck or chip away at parts of the bridge. Each spoke of a solution that fitted within his or her respective level of expertise. A boy walking by and witnessing the intense debate looked at the truck, at the bridge, and then looked at the road and said nonchalantly, "Why not just let the air out of the tires?" To the absolute amazement of all the specialists and experts trying to unpick the problem, when the solution was tested, the truck was able to drive free with ease, having suffered only the damage caused by its initial attempt to pass underneath the bridge. The story symbolizes the struggle we face when oftentimes the most obvious solutions are the ones hardest to come by because of the self-imposed constraints we work with. It's often difficult for us humans to challenge our assumptions and everyday knowledge because we rely on building patterns of thinking in order to not have to learn everything from scratch every time. We rely on doing everyday processes more or less unconsciously. For example, when we get up in the morning, eat, walk, and read, but when we access challenges at work and in our private lives. In particular, experts and specialists rely on their solid thought patterns, and it can be very challenging and difficult for experts to start questioning their knowledge. So why did we tell you the story about the truck and the bridge? Well, it's because stories can help us inspire opportunities, ideas, and solutions. Stories are framed around real people and their lives and are important because their accounts of specific events, not general statements. They provide us with concrete details which help us imagine solutions to particular problems. Stories also help you develop the eye of a designer. As you walk around the world, you should try to look for the design stories that are all around you. Say to yourself, "That's an example of a great design," or "That's an example of a really bad design." Try to figure out the reasons why. When you come across something particularly significant, make sure you document it either through photos or videos. This will prove beneficial not only to you and your design practice, but also to others, your future clients maybe. Design thinking is an iterative and non-linear process. This simply means that the design team continuously uses their results to review, question, and improve their initial assumptions, understandings, and results. Results from the final stage of the initial work process inform us our understanding of the problem, help us determine the parameters of the problem, enable us to redefine the problem, and perhaps more importantly, or most importantly, provide us with new insights so we can see an alternative solution that might not have been available with our previous level of understanding. Design thinking is a non-linear iterative process that consists of 5 phases: emphasize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. You can carry out the stages in parallel, repeat them, and circle back to a previous stage at any point in the process. You don't have to follow them in order. The takeaways. It's a process that digs a bit deeper into the problem solving as you seek to understand your users, challenge assumptions, and redefine problems. The design thinking process has both a scientific and artistic side to it, as it asks us to understand and challenge our natural, restrictive pattern of thinking and generate innovative solutions to the problems of our users. Design thinking is essentially a problem-solving approach that has the intention to improve products. It helps you assess and analyze known aspects of a problem and identify the most ambiguous or peripheral factors that contribute to the conditions of a problem. This contrasts with the most scientific approach where the concrete and the known aspects are tested in order to arrive at a solution. The iterative and ideation oriented nature of design thinking means we constantly question and acquire knowledge throughout the process. This helps us redefine a problem so we can identify alternative strategies and solutions that aren't instantly apparent with our initial level of understanding. Design thinking is often referred to as an outside the box thinking, as designers attempt to develop new ways of thinking that do not abide by the dominant or most common problem solving methods, just like artists do. The design thinking process has become increasingly popular over the last decade because it was key to the success of many high-profile global organizations. This outside-the-box thinking is now taught at leading universities across the world and is encouraged at every level of business. With this, we come to an end to this episode of All Things Lean. We will continue to talk about design thinking in more details in our upcoming sessions. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment in the comment section on what you'd like to hear more. Until next time, this is your host, Madhulika Rajahan, signing off. Have a wonderful day ahead.